All right, welcome back to Astromedica. I've been doing some grinding. I'll be brutally honest with you. I've been doing a lot of bloody grinding. So, we've been through the gate in... come on, let's get over here. We've been through that gate over there in Theta 9. And as I've said previously, there is another gate over in Theta 12. So we're going to have to take a look at that today. Now, one of the things about that over there is that's really quite cool. I do like the look of that. I can't wait to kind of explore it. But there's something that I found when I was over in Theta 12 that it kind of makes me wonder. And we'll explore that when we get to it. But, and there's a bit of a but here. Like I said, I've been grinding. Look at this sucker here. This is the global... what do you call this damn thing? Let's check. What do you call this damn thing? Wrong button. Go to machines. This is the global teleportation device. You need the Volthium, you need Pyrolite clusters, you can see, and iron bars and Celestite. Thankfully, due to being a complete and utter no-lifer, it's not that bad, I promise. It's not that bad. I've actually built this, and what this is, this allows me to click on that, go to Theta 12. If you look on that, it's like, as you can see over there, it's like the warp gate. And if we wander through here, I have built, I'll reiterate that, I have built, because god damn it, every time I go through any sort of these things and the gate, you end up getting my recording just completely nutty bleeding stops. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to bring the Seeker over here. Now, you'll notice that I had the Seeker over in Theta 9. It's now over here. So when you do this, you can drag the Seeker over here and it will automatically come. And this is my Theta 9, Theta 12 base. It's bloody minimal in comparison to what's going on over the way, but there's something, like I said, that I found. Now, I did get, I grabbed some more, obviously, 3 nanite bars and 12 more of the luminite to build the gate to the Alpha 9. Alpha 9? Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Brain cell is dying. The Alpha Control Center. The gate that was in the Alpha Control Center over there. And I found out something completely and utterly different. But basically all I've done here is I've done somewhat similar to what I've got over the road in Theta 9. I haven't built anywhere near out as much as I possibly need. I've just put some batteries down, some power generation, and a couple of machines so I can do all... come back. There we go. I do need some food and I do need some water. What have I got on me? Well, I've got enough to build some more batteries. I don't need that. I really don't need that. I mean, I could go OTT and just put an absolute bucket load of stuff in there and have it going utterly nuts, but I don't need it, so let's not worry about that. So we've got some... Oh, we can't do that in this game. Got some water, got some food. I just dropped it, didn't I? Where'd it go? That's weird. I had those on me and I hit the wrong mouse button. Oh, there it is. I do want that water back. Thankfully though, I mean, if I go over to the Theta Control Center, which is that away, then I can get some more water. So I'm not that fussed, to be perfectly honest. But let's go and have a look, shall we? So there's Theta. which means Alpha should be over this way. Hey, I'm actually quite correct. It's a little bit away, so let's just go zooty, 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 zoot. I did also go and get a massive amount of boxes, the blueprints, and I've unlocked pretty much all of the Tech 3 stuff. There's some stuff I'm still missing from Tech 2, and not being able to respawn any of the Tech 2 stuff is a little bleeding annoying, but there's not a lot I can do about that, is there? Ooh, I don't want to get blown up by that lot. So let's go up here. Let's dump our asses down here. And remember, you don't really need to worry about these free looking dudes here. It might be something completely different later in the game, and they might be a little bit more aggressive. It's pretty gross, isn't it? That's pretty gross. Not gonna lie? Yeah. Now we will need our laser out. And as you can see, there's one there and there's one there. But if you stay right up here, you won't have a problem. Now in here, obviously, there is still that green drone. And no matter what I do, I'm always going to get pinged by that sucker. But again, a little bit of left and right, and you're all good to go. So, oh, did I bring enough O2? I brought some O2. Thank heck for that. As you can see, I have built this. And look at that. It's yellow. Now, if you remember rightly, back in Theta 9, actually, let me do that so I don't die whilst I'm nattering away like an absolute muppet, because that would be bad. Back in Theta 9, it was a blue colour. So, this is yellow. Different planet? Oh, we're about to find out, aren't we? So let's go through and say, hello world. Okay, so we're through the Alpha 12 gate. Let's get away from that. I just jumped back through there I just hit it by complete accident. It was a damn stupid thing to do. And let's get off of this so I don't keep going around and around and around in circles. Now the one thing that kind of made me wonder is whether we're in the correct place or not. But we look around. We can't get anywhere near as far as we used to be as we did when we were in the Alpha 9 gate. And obviously there's quite a bit of difference running around it. But look at that. And this is what I'm wondering. Now, whilst, yes, there were some Moxora style buildings in the Theta 9 gate, this one, everything is kind of leading towards the girls coming through the Theta, and thankfully my O2 isn't going down. I'm quite grateful about that. Everything is leading from all the messages that we read that the girls came through here because all those notes were in Theta 12 in the Alpha Control Center at the very, very end. So are we going to find what happened to the girls in the long run? It'd be interesting to find out. Now you can, if you go this way, you can go off into the middle of goddamn nowhere and get absolutely nowhere and get somewhat lost if you don't look for the blue ball in the sky, assuming that none of these rocks are in its way. But look, you can't get anywhere closer that way, so it's kind of maybe confirming my theory. It's not a scientific theory, I'll give you that much, but look at that. That's definitely something that you kind of expect. Oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord, we've come to the wrong place, let's build something to survive. Shelter. And there is one of those shelters in Theta 9, and that is on the two little dome areas relatively close to Mox Island. Yeah, very, very strange. But, I mean, it's good that they've got the two different places you can go. Yeah, I'm intrigued. I want to know more story. I want to know what's happened to everybody. And like I said, I've run that way for absolutely well, it's not absolutely ages. It's a lot like when you do the running on towards the buildings in the Theta 9 gate. You run so far and you suddenly come to a stop and you can't move any further, which is a little bit frustrating, but it is early access. I'm kind of anticipating that we will find out more. Now, remember, I said something about the roadmap. I couldn't find anything out online, but I did remember vaguely seeing something, and it did take me a bit of searching online, and I did find out there is a roadmap. So, according to all of this, there are no dates. I mean, it's December 2024. So it's been out for a little while. So you've got new space. Well, let's start off here. Drones and automation update. Automated drones, automated fabrication smelting, new buildables, resource, new locations and more. Which I think is probably something that they have already got. We've got new vehicles, mobile bases, upgrades and stories. I'm not really sure if that's something they've got because none of this really means much, to be perfectly honest. But as you can see, that's not anything that is on Theta 9 or Theta 12, so that looks like it could be more. Ability to build bases on islands, ability to make own islands. Now that sounds pretty darn cool. Terraforming, new automations, Unidel update, the wreckage exploration. Now I'm not 100% sure whether this goes doink 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 or whether it goes like this, left to right. But we do have game modes already. There is a relax mode, there's a sandbox mode, there is a creative mode that you can play. So goodness knows what is going on. Haven't seen Space Station as at all yet, so that's going to be relatively interesting. We've looked at the Unidel wreckage. Well, there is the Unidel Survivor wreckage, which is basically an old shuttle. There is the there's the Unidel Survivors outpost, which is basically a bog standard Moxor outpost that's stuck on there. But that does say things like main story continues. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. So how this all actually works out in the long run and where it's supposed to be in the timeline, it doesn't really say. Doesn't really say. Now, there is the ability to scavenge wreckages, scavenge a vehicle. What the scavenger vehicle is, who knows? I mean, that could have been the Seeker. That could have been the Skipper. Don't know about that. But that is something that we generally haven't seen as yet. Those two. So it kind of seems to think that we got combat spaceship. You could call the Seeker that. I mean, if you've got, at least if you've got the Seeker lasers, that's that. But alien spaceships, we haven't really seen much of that except for that old wreck. New modules, yeah, definitely need more modules, that's for sure. We need more blueprints, I definitely say that. So exactly where all of this lines up into the scheme of things, nobody knows. But there's a whole pile of TBA as well. So, let's get back into the game. You know, it's really damned annoying that... Oh, hang on. One thing I did note... Let's get the laser back out. That sucker comes back to life when you come back. Here we go. Lefty righty works all the time. That it's still stopping recording every time I go through one of those warp gates. It's a little bit frustrating, but I can live with that. Right. So, let us get back to our little humble base. And what we're going to do is we're going to think about exactly what's going to come next. A bit of theory crafting, let's say. A bit of theory crafting. What is going to come next? And for some reason, my Seeker has disappeared. Thankfully, though, these guys have got Seeker summoning points on them, so come back, come back, come back. Thank you. I don't want to die from lack of O2. I'm going to have a bit of theory crafting. Now, me, I kind of think, judging on the logs that are going on here, that the girls went through that gate there, and that's what that Moxora outpost slash hole in the ground. We're going to find some more information about them. What is all of this? Now, I'm kind of thinking, I don't know if you've heard of it. Have you heard of the Grey Goo theory? Grey Goo theory is something that goes on about when a civilization, and most of it's attributed to Earth because, well, let's put it bluntly, shall we? We're not the best guardians, are we? We're really not. Some of us like to think we're absolutely fantastic about recycling and doing all that, but we're not exactly the best guardians of our poor little planet. And it's... unless we do something, things are going to get worse. But the Grey Goo theory is that they send out von Neumann devices. And von Neumann devices are basically self-replicating robots. Self-replicating robots out there to both explore and expand into the galaxy. And they end up using local resources, cannibalizing local resources and turning it into more drones to go off. But they end up cannibalizing too much and cannibalizing entire solar systems and turning it into, well, lifeless husks. Grey Goo. Whether that's a thing, I don't think we'd be seeing. Remember the little grey critters in Theta 9? And then you've got, can't see it from here, but if you go out to the unknown outpost, those blue slash black alien greeblies that attacked when I was getting the Luminite? I don't think they'd be around unless the blue slash black greeblies are drones. I don't know. They don't appear to be drones just based on their structure. But yeah, it's an... I don't know. I'm interested. If you've got any ideas, let me know what your ideas are. What's going to be coming up next? I reckon obviously there's going to be some more exploration. There's going to be obviously more building. We need a way more tier 2 blueprints, because I'm completely out of tier 2 blueprints, and I am actually, no, it's best if I show it from here. So I don't have a tier 3 module. I'm pretty sure I've got the tier 4 module. Don't have a tier 3 one. Health upgrade is fine. Speed is fine. Boost, can't find a boost module to save my skin. I don't know why. I'm still on the tier 1 there. But if we look in here, Seeker boost right there. And I've got tier 3. And I've also got a tier 4 in here somewhere there. So where's the tier 2? Obviously there are more tier 2 blueprints that I either A, haven't found, and I have been looking. I promise you, I've been looking. And it's kind of making me think that maybe when you come into here and you dump your blueprints into the research station, it's not set in stone what you get. It's not like those, the logs, which unless you find each log in a very specific order, you're going to have to work out exactly what has happened. Because if you go off somewhere where you weren't maybe supposed to go in the first place, you just went out exploring, and you find a log, you can find logs that are just completely out of sync. I think that's something they really, really, really need to think about, is syncing up the things so it has at least some form of coherent story line when you're doing that. But I still love this music. And then it just went. Well, that's not annoying. All right, let's get back in here before I just die from lack of O2. And let's go back over to Theta 9. All right, well, we're back in Theta 9 again. If we look at how much they cost to build, it's 3 Pyrolite clusters each. The Volthium, we can get more because there is that self-spawning. There's one single Volthium in the Theta control outpost that you can get every single time you go and open up again. And that's something obviously that's obviously redoable. But I've got a fair whack now because prior to some, I didn't think there was been an update, but some of those Pyrolite clusters have been respawning. I've managed to get enough. So I can actually use those to maybe travel to those other planets. So what we're going to do today, grab that. Now, I'm going to need some glass, which I don't have any of, so I'm going to need to make some. We're going to try something. And what we're going to try and do, that should hopefully be enough. I'm probably going to need to beat the daylights out of some plants here. How are they looking? Not great. This could take me a moment. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through that gate over there. I don't need O2 whilst I'm here, but I'm going to go through that gate there and see if we can build at least just a tiny, modest outpost. Now, to run one of those suckers, we're going to need 50 power capacity. I do not know if we can build anything on that planetary area. So we're going to try that first. But we're going to need some Volthium, we're going to need some Celestite, and obviously some iron bars, which we've got enough. We could probably do with some more, but we've got enough. That'll do. Now, to get there, we're also going to need... Oh wow, I actually don't have any copper wire. I think I need some electronic parts. I don't know if I'm going to need that. I do know that I definitely need some fabric. That's because you can't build a hatch without fabric. So the general idea is we're going to build little square habitat. We're going to build the hatch or the airlock, and we're also going to build... Whoop, I know I need advance for this. A couple of... Actually, there's no point in really building a solar panel. Just build that sucker on top. And then also we're going to need some batteries. And that is where... I don't think I've got any... Actually, no, we do. Give me that. And I do know that over here... Where the heck did I put the damn things? I thought I had... I thought I had. Oh, no, I don't obviously think. It's an issue, you know? Sometimes not thinking is definitely an issue. So I am going to probably need some more of the Celestite. But I'm definitely going to need a couple of advanced chipsets. Because without the advanced chipsets, you do that, and I'm going to go see just exactly. Not in there. Not in there. Actually, no, it's on the other side, isn't it? I swear to God, sometimes there should be a brain cell that works, but occasionally it doesn't. Aha! We need fungi to build batteries. Give me those. Right. So we've got enough to build a room. We've got enough to build a hatch. In fact, we've got way more than we actually need. We've got some glass and iron and copper bars to build some power generation. And we've got enough of this stuff. And advanced buildables. Nope, it's just actually bog standard buildables, isn't it? No, it's machines. Where's the machines one? The machines one, we currently need 3 Volthium. You know, it would have been nice to have kind of paid attention to where I've actually stored the Volthium. But have I got no more Volthium? 5. That's more than I need. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through there, see if we can build a base there, and see if we can actually teleport there or not. Right, let's give it a shot, shall we? I think I've got enough. Let's grab the Seeker bag. And also I can actually probably do with... I don't need to. But I'm going to stick some fresh power cells in there. That's alright. That one obviously isn't. And let's dump those there. Right, let's go and have a look, shall we? Relatively close, so that's darn good. I don't want to do it over in Alpha 9 because it's way far away from all the stuff that I've got. We're going to give it a shot and see what happens. Whee! Well, the observer may notice that I'm back here again. I don't think the game wants me to do this because it just crashed when I went through that gate down over there. What have we got on us? We don't really need that much on us, but we do need some more materials. So let me gather the materials and then we're going to go try get through that gate again and see what happens, because yeah, like I said, I went through there and the gate crashed halfway through there. Maybe you're not supposed to take the pyrolite through there, I don't know. We're about to find out though. So give me a moment, I'll gather some more mats and we'll meet you back up. Alright, idiot back here. Odd thing, now the game crashed when I tried to go back through here. The one thing I did notice though, that when I was spawned back in the base, basically back in where I left it in the last time that it actually saved, but my Seeker certainly wasn't here at that point, and all the mats that I'd taken with me had disappeared. It's not like it's the end of the world. Thankfully the pyrolite clusters hadn't though, which would have been a little bit bleeding annoying. And maybe if I'd have used my one remaining brain cell, I may have actually left, because I only need, what, 3 pyrolite clusters? Oh, Volthium. I don't have any Volthium anymore. Okay. Give me a tick. I'm just going to have to go get some stuffs. I'm going to go slaughter some whales. Now, whilst I would like to say that no whales were harmed or no animals were harmed in the making of this video, I can't really be sure on that because I'm not exactly sure what drilling bits out of a whale is actually going to be, well, maybe not even pleasant to them. But let us save this game. But then again, if it doesn't respect saves, then I'm not exactly sure what this is going to do because I don't really want to lose too much more. Get some water. I've only got 1 food left, but I don't think I'm really going to need more than that. Right, let's go see what happens this time, shall we? Well, that didn't turn out good either. The game crashed again. Slurp down some water, eat some food again. But this time at least it respected my inventory. Oh, come back here, you. So what we're going to try and do now is we're going to come down here. We're going to dump all of this stuff off. And because we don't really need it, just in case things turn a bit pear-shaped again. I shouldn't need food. So let's pop down here and let's see if the game crashes. Maybe I have screwed my save. Okay, well, we got here. Now, whilst I do understand that a poll of 2 to 1 isn't exactly empirical evidence, there's obviously something that I had in my inventory that has caused this not to work. I'm a tiny channel. I've only just started uploading some videos. And whilst I'm having a lot of fun trying this, I'm not exactly sure that the developers are going to be watching this. But, devs, if you ever do see this, yeah, let me know. Let me know what's going on. If they tell me, I will let you guys know. But let's get back, because there's a couple of other things that I found whilst I've been wandering around as well. Well, I say a couple of other things. One of them, I really can't be asked going through again because it took me bleeding ages to get it sorted. But let's go back. Okay, well, thankfully my ship is still here. I'm kind of hoping if I can control myself, that is. Yeah, all the gear that I had in there is still there, so that's cool. Right, like I said, there's one of the things that I can't be bloody bothered doing. Now, if you remember rightly, and it's going to take me a second to get there to show you what I mean, over that away, you can just see the green line there, and if we come across here, I got a bit bored. Like I said, I was wandering around looking for some more of those chests to see if there's anything that I'd missed, see if there's any more of the tier 2 blueprints that I would use. That sucker there, I thought, let's go and have a look. Well, it is actually, I can't say for sure that it is actually 3D because there isn't really much change as you get close to it. But it does appear that it's supposed to be a planet. But you get to a certain point where you just go boink, 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 you get to an invisible wall, and you can't get there any further. So, whilst, yeah, interesting idea, not the best idea I've ever had, to be perfectly honest. Like I said, it took me a while to get there and get back. But, let's go back home. Shouldn't take too long to get there. Now, I'm not exactly sure what the developers are trying to tell us with this. But, if we come in here and have a look at these. See all this? Looks pretty cool, right? That, same as that. See, it's got S2 there, but you'll notice it's actually on a different side on this one. So you got S2 on the left and you got S2 on the right. We look on this one, there's a whole pile of text. So this is, it's odd because that doesn't look, well, maybe it's 52 actually, rather than S2, 52. And 52 backwards, because you've got that sharp section just here. But if we pop over this side, you can actually read what I've got going on here. And it says, never give up. Always rise. Oh, sorry. Rise and rise again. Rise and rise again. Never give up. Rise and rise again. I'm not exactly sure what they're trying to tell us there, but there's also a whole passel more. You've got some... What's the best way to describe it? It's actually on this one here. Barcode. Couldn't really see anything about that. But there's also a whole bar of stuff there. Now, I did take a screenshot, and this is in 4K, but I couldn't actually blow it up, or even, I don't have the tools to sharpen that up to see if there's anything that I could make out of it. So again, devs, if you've got stuff stuck in there, let us know what it says. Be interesting, and I'll spread that info out for everybody. It does say caution, 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 but what that says, don't know. So if anybody's got any ideas, let me know. But that's another, and it's a bit of an oddity. I mean, the whole rise and rise and rise again thing is like, what are you trying to say here, guys? What are you trying to say? Right, actually, what I should do, while I think about it, let's dump all of this back in my boxes. Even though I built all that stuff and I don't need it anymore, I'm probably sure I'm going to need it again at some point. So I'm not too worried about losing a little bit of iron and a little bit of glass and some copper. I was thankful that I didn't lose the pyrolite, because that would have been... Why didn't those go in there? That would have been slightly annoying. But hey. And you in here. And all the rest is around the corner here. You know what's really annoying? Having this many bloody boxes with that much stuff in there, you really do lose track of where everything is supposed to go. And as you can see, yeah, obviously the fabric has just disappeared. But that is, I'm glad I didn't lose those, because that's annoying. These, not so worried about the celestite, because I'm growing that stuff, and once it grows back, you don't really need to worry about it that much, eh? Whee! Just thinking. I mean, over that side, the line is green. Over this side, the line is sort of a reddy colour. It's tempting me to go and have a look over that way and to see if there's anything over there as well. I probably shouldn't, because it'll be an absolute, complete and utter waste of time. But there is something else that I was thinking of doing, and that is getting more power generation and power storage to get more and more and more of those circuits. As you can see, I've expanded my iron and copper. I didn't bother about the gold because you don't need that much more gold, but I've expanded the copper and the iron thing, and the copper is still going, and I'm not, and you can see that it's still turning right now, so the iron is going as well. If I am going to expand this base anymore to get some more power and stuff like that, and if we pop back in this way, I don't really need it, but it's kind of, you know, you want to future-proof yourself. I mean, we do have an extra 1,300, or just over 1,300 capacity left. Do I really need any more power? That's what I'm asking myself. I don't know yet. But considering I've got enough mats not to worry about it right now, I don't think I'm going to worry about it. But there is. We come in here. See, there's the X vertical corridor there. There is a 6-way corridor that you can get your mitts on. And what I was wondering, and this is something that I really actually wouldn't mind doing, is if you bring this further and further and further out, I don't want it going like off into the horizon there. It's coming out and having it going up and then having it going back again, which you can't really do with those corridors. So having the 6-way corridor, oh, and by the way, the 6-way corridor is in Theta 12. You know, the trading station, you can buy the 6-way corridor, so it goes obviously up and down, left and right, and forward and backwards. So that would allow me to have a corridor coming out this way, which I can go both that way, and then make another set of corridors going down there and having more batteries, and then obviously having more going up and then having more going standard corridors going that way with more batteries and then more solar panels. Basically just expanding everything out. Right now, don't need it, but that's something I might do in the future if you need to. But I mean, that really is it for now, for what we've got. And considering the amount of time I've spent running around looking all over these rocks and everything, and I know I've missed some things. I have to have missed some things because there are so many tier 2 blueprints that I really still need. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do about it. Yeah, it's an odd one, eh? I mean, I have found a whole pile of tier words. Words are difficult, obviously. Tier 2 blueprints, which I'm not exactly but there's obviously more that I'm missing. Because I have completely and utterly, and I've stripped the tier 3. Actually, I should strip this out because it's no use to me anymore because I've actually finished it off. But I definitely finished the tier 1, but I haven't finished tier 2. So it would be nice as well if the devs could confirm that all the tier 2 blueprints are actually available and not just by the respawns that you can get in the Alpha Mining Center. Well, you used to be able to get. I can't get them anymore for some reason. Don't know why. Because when I first went in there, they were there, and then I went back and I got another tier 2. But I went back the third time and it wasn't there anymore. I like being a bit of a completionist, so I'm a little bit peeved about that, and I would have liked to have had all of at least the tier 2 ones that are currently available. But hey, well, tough noogies, I guess. So that, currently, considering there's absolutely nothing else I can do, we jump on top here. I'm going to leave you there. And when they finally do another update, there's no date on any horizon that I've seen so far, we'll get it back going again. And hey, if you want to see more and you want me to see expand this base out so it's an absolute power mad maniacal thing, let me know and I'll go ahead and I'll probably do a whole pile of grinding because when I say grinding, I've got the brain cell nickel being mined over past that area there, so that shouldn't be an issue. It just means a little bit of time with obviously allowing these suckers to grow. But I do have more seeds and I could put a bucket load more of the hydroponic stations down. Anyway, love you, leave you, bye. I think that's probably the best way of ending that one, isn't it? Love you, leave you, bye. Take care, guys. And I will catch you in a future episode of Astromedica.